Ever now, I'm married to a wonderful man, and my life is just fantastic in every way. Before her heartbreaking passing, beloved star Olivia Newton-John made a stunning revelation that fans have waited decades to hear what really happened on the set of Grease. Before Grease, what kind of movies do they offer you that you said no to? I made one. I should have said no to. Was it really that bad? Oh yeah. Behind the dazzling smiles and electrifying dance scenes was a whirlwind of untold stories, hidden emotions, and on-set secrets. In her final days, Olivia broke her silence, finally confirming the long-rumored drama, relationships, and unforgettable moments that shaped the iconic film. This is the emotional behind-the-scenes truth straight from Sandy herself, prepared to see Grease like never before. The Grease set. Back in 1978, a vibrant, feel-good musical burst onto the big screen and quickly won the hearts of millions around the world. That film was Grease, an American romantic comedy filled with catchy songs, memorable dance numbers, and a nostalgic glimpse into the teenage culture of the 1950s. It was the first feature film directed by Randall Kleiser, and it brought to life a screenplay by Bronte Woodard, based on the hit 1972 stage musical created by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey. The story, however, owes a lot of its film magic to Alan Carr, who also served as a co-producer and helped adapt the musical for the screen. At the heart of Grease is a classic tale of young love and self-discovery. It follows the story of Danny Zuko, a slick leather jacket-wearing high school greaser, played by John Travolta, and Sandy Olsen, an innocent and sweet Australian transfer student, played by Olivia Newton-John. The two meet over the summer and share a whirlwind romance. But when the new school year begins at Rydell High, their love is tested by peer pressure, clashing personalities, and the often confusing rules of teenage society. Will love win, or will their differences tear them apart? That's the exciting emotional roller coaster Grease invites audiences to ride. When Grease hit U.S. theaters on June 16, 1978, it wasn't just another musical. It was a phenomenon. Released by Paramount Pictures, the film became an instant box office smash, breaking records to become the highest-grossing musical of its time. Critics praised its energy, charm, and unforgettable performances. Audiences were swept away by the infectious soundtrack, vibrant costumes, and relatable high school drama. From the halls of Rydell High to the dreamy backdrop of 1950s America, Grease captured the spirit of youth in a way that felt both fun and timeless. The film's soundtrack was just as successful as the movie itself. By the end of 1978, the Grease album was the second best-selling record of the year in the U.S., only behind Saturday Night Fever, which also featured John Travolta in a starring role. Songs like You're the One That I Want, Summer Nights, and Grease Lightning became instant classics, playing on radios everywhere and becoming karaoke staples for generations to come. One of the film's ballads, Hopelessly Devoted to You, performed by Olivia Newton-John, was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song. Beyond the Oscars, Grease earned 5 nominations at the 36th Golden Globe Awards, including Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. 2 of its songs, Grease and You're the One That I Want, were also nominated for Best Original Song. These nominations reflected the widespread impact of the movie, not just on fans, but also on the film industry. Grease has grown in popularity since its release, earning a place in the U.S. National Film Registry in 2020 for its cultural and artistic impact. The film's influence on pop culture, music, and teen storytelling remains strong, with new generations embracing its iconic characters. Although Grease 2 in 1982 didn't match the original's success, it maintains a fan base. The franchise has expanded with Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies in 2023, and an upcoming prequel movie, Summer Lovin', exploring Danny and Sandy's early romance. The legacy of Grease continues to thrive. In every sense, Grease is more than just a movie. It's a joyful, musical celebration of teenage dreams, self-expression, and the magic of young love. With its toe-tapping songs, playful humor, and irresistible charm, it continues to bring smiles to faces and get audiences dancing in their seats. Whether you're watching it for the first time or the 100th, Grease is truly the word. With a spark ignited by the movie, Olivia and John Travolta seem to have brought their romance to real life. Now let's dig into the details of the enduring bond between Olivia and John Travolta. More than just Sandy and Danny. When people think of iconic on-screen couples, Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta often top the list. Their chemistry as Sandy and Danny in the 1978 blockbuster Grease lit up movie theaters around the world. But while their romance existed only in the world of film, the deep friendship between the two stars became a beautiful reality, one that lasted more than 4 decades. They were never romantically involved off-screen, but their bond was something rare and enduring. When news broke of Newton-John's passing at the age of 73, Travolta, now 68, poured his heart out in a touching tribute on Instagram. "My dearest Olivia," he wrote, "you made all of our lives so much better. Your impact was incredible. I love you so much. We will see you down the road, and we will all be together again. Yours from the first moment I saw you and forever. Your Danny, your John." That wasn't just a message from a former co-star. It was a love letter from a lifelong friend. Their journey began in the intense whirlwind of Grease's production when both were in their 20s. The film became a cultural phenomenon, shooting both of them to superstardom almost overnight. But while the fame eventually mellowed, their connection only grew stronger. In a 2018 interview with People magazine during the movie's 40th anniversary, Travolta shared just how meaningful their relationship was. "When you experience a level of success that massive and nothing else has really come close since, you're bonded for life," he explained. "We've been there for each other through so much. I saw her become a mother, go through a divorce, and lose her sister. She's seen me get married, have kids. We've shared so many moments, both joyful and painful." Newton-John echoed those sentiments, recalling how the energy at the film's premiere felt electric, like the beginning of something magical. "We knew something big was happening," she said. "Making that movie changed our lives. I'll always be grateful that I got to be part of it, and that I got to work with John. We've been friends ever since." Through life's ups and downs, Travolta was always just a call away. Newton-John often spoke of how he reached out whenever she faced hard times and how deeply she appreciated his support. Their friendship extended beyond movie sets and award shows. They were often seen together at Gidea USA events, celebrating Australian-American ties. Travolta, though born in the U.S., embraced Newton-John's homeland so warmly that he was affectionately called an honorary Australian. A licensed pilot, he also had a close relationship with Australian airline Qantas, and was even named a Goodwill Ambassador for Australia in 2013. That same year, the duo reunited at a black tie gala, where Newton-John helped honor fellow Aussie actor Paul Hogan, best known as Crocodile Dundee. A few days later, Travolta sang with country star Keith Urban at another Gidea USA celebration. Their friendship wasn't just about public appearances, it was about shared joy and mutual respect. And of course, they never stopped being ambassadors for Grease. From DVD launches to anniversary events, they continued to delight fans. One particularly memorable moment came in 2019 at a Meet and Grease sing-along in Palm Beach, Florida. Travolta beamed as he told the crowd, "We love singing together, so anything is possible." Going back on the film that started it all, Travolta never stopped praising his co-star. At a 40th anniversary event hosted by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, he shared how strongly he'd pushed for her to be cast. "There was no one else on earth Who could play Sandy? It had to be Olivia, he insisted. But Olivia Newton-John hadn't always believed she was the right choice. She admitted at the same event that she was hesitant to take the role. Her previous experience in a musical hadn't been great, and she was nervous about playing a high schooler in her late 20s. That changed the moment Travolta showed up at her house. "This gorgeous guy walks up my driveway with these bright blue eyes," she recalled with a smile. "He was so sweet. He melted me." Their connection was real, effortless, and rare. While not everything the pair created together was gold, some of their musical collaborations outside Greece didn't quite hit the mark. Their friendship remained pure and unwavering. In the end, Olivia and John Newton taught the world a lesson about love, not just the romantic kind, but the kind that withstands time, distance, and life's many changes. It's the kind of love that doesn't need to be defined by titles or tied with ribbons. It simply is. And as Travolta said, they'll meet again, somewhere down the road. Who is the star woman who got John Travolta's heart in Greece? What does she represent? Let's talk about who Olivia Newton-John is. The story of Olivia Newton-John. Once upon a time, in the quiet hum of post-war Cambridge, England, a baby girl named Olivia Newton-John was born on September 26, 1948. No one could have guessed that this gentle, wide-eyed child would one day grow into one of the most beloved voices the world would ever hear. A woman whose songs would echo through generations, whose smile would charm millions, and whose courage would uplift hearts long after the music faded. Olivia's early years were split between England and Australia, where her family moved when she was a child. It was in Australia, beneath its sunlit skies, that Olivia first discovered her love for singing. She had a voice that seemed to melt into melodies, sweet and soulful, like a comforting breeze. Before long, she began to appear on TV shows and talent competitions. By the time she reached her early 20s, her voice was no longer just a local treasure, it was becoming a global sensation. Then came the moment that changed everything. In 1978, Olivia Newton-John starred in a film that would become one of the most iconic musicals of all time. Grease. Cast as the innocent Sandy opposite John Travolta's charming Danny, Olivia captured hearts like wildfire. Her transformation in the movie, from the shy, sweet girl in a poodle skirt to the confident, leather-clad heroine, became the stuff of cinematic legend. The film soared at the box office, becoming the highest-grossing musical film of its time. But it wasn't just the movie that made history. The Grease soundtrack became a cultural anthem. Songs like Summer Nights and You're the One That I Want flew to the top of global charts, with the latter becoming one of the best-selling singles ever recorded. Fans around the world sang along, danced, and fell in love with the music and with Olivia. Yet her story didn't stop at Sandy. Olivia went on to build a musical empire. With over 100 million records sold, she became one of the best-selling recording artists in history and the top-selling female artist from Australia. Her voice, warm and graceful, could slip effortlessly from country to pop, from sorrow to celebration. Hits like Hopelessly Devoted to You, Physical, and I Honestly Love You cemented her as a household name. Her awards shelf overflowed. 4 Grammy Awards, 6 American Music Awards, 9 Billboard Music Awards, and a Daytime Emmy. She earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and she charted 15 top 10 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, with 5 reaching #1. Her albums weren't just loved, they were legendary, with several achieving multi-platinum status. But behind all the glamour, Olivia remained grounded, deeply compassionate, and quietly heroic. In the early 90s, Olivia received devastating news. She had breast cancer. The diagnosis shook her, but it didn't break her. Instead, it sparked a new chapter in her story, one filled with purpose and unwavering hope. She didn't hide her battle. She shared it, bravely and publicly, becoming a voice for countless women fighting the same fight. Rather than let the disease define her, she chose to fight back, not just for herself, but for others. In 2012, after years of tireless advocacy and fundraising, she opened the Olivia Newton-John Cancer and Wellness Centres in Melbourne, Australia. This wasn't just a hospital, it was a sanctuary of healing, where cutting-edge science met holistic care. In 2015, it was renamed the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Wellness and Research Center, honoring the legacy she was building, not just in music, but in medicine. Even as she faced 3 separate battles with cancer, Olivia continued to perform to inspire and to love. She became a symbol of resilience, embracing life with grace, humor, and light. She also used her platform to stand up for the planet and its creatures, supporting environmental and animal rights with passion and sincerity. In 2006, the Australian government named her an Officer of the Order of Australia. In 2020, Queen Elizabeth II honoured her with the title Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, a fitting tribute to a woman who had given so much beauty to the world. On August 8, 2022, Olivia Newton-John took her final bow, surrounded by family and love. But though her physical presence is gone, her voice still soars in the hearts of those she touched. Her music plays on, her kindness echoes in hospitals and homes, and her courage continues to light the way for those walking through shadows. She was more than a star. Olivia Newton-John was a song, a timeless melody of joy, strength, and love. And even now, her story sings on. Let's dig into the details of her early days in her career, the early spark in her career. Before she became a global superstar, Olivia Newton-John lived an ordinary childhood that slowly blossomed into an extraordinary life filled with music, fame, and unexpected turns. As a young girl growing up in Melbourne, Australia, Olivia attended primary school alongside Daryl Braithwaite, who, like her, would later become a successful singer. Even in her early years, her love for performing shone brightly. At just 14 years old, she teamed up with 3 of her classmates to create an all-girl music group called Soul 4. Although the group didn't last long, they enjoyed performing at a cozy local coffee shop owned by Olivia's brother-in-law. It was in that simple, homely setting that her passion for singing started to grow roots. Initially, Olivia dreamed of becoming a veterinarian. She had a deep affection for animals and wanted to work with them. But as time went on, she began to doubt whether she could manage the tough science exams required for that career path. Slowly, her heart pulled her toward the stage and the world of performance, where she felt more alive and confident. Her first real taste of acting success came in 1964, while she was still in high school. Olivia played the role of Lady Mary Lacenby in her school's production of The Admirable Crichton. Her performance impressed many and earned her second place in the Young Sons Drama Award, a recognition given to the best schoolgirl actresses. This moment gave her a burst of confidence and confirmed her budding talent in the performing arts. Soon after, Olivia became a familiar face on Australian television. She was featured in popular shows like Time for Terry and The Happy Show on HSV7, where audiences came to know her as the sweet and cheerful Lovely Livy. She also appeared on The Go Show, a music program that turned out to be a major turning point in her life. It was there she met 2 people who would shape her career: singer Pat Carroll, who would later become her duet partner, and music producer John Ferrer, who would help craft some of her biggest hits. Interestingly, Carroll and Ferrer would eventually marry. In 1965, Olivia's talent reached a wider audience when she entered a national TV talent show called Sing, 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 hosted by the legendary Johnny O'Keefe. She wowed viewers with her renditions of Anyone Who Had a Heart and Everything's Coming Up Roses, and walked away as the winner. Her prize? A trip to Great Britain. At first, she hesitated to take the journey, unsure about leaving home. But her mother gently encouraged her to see more of the world and chase her dreams. Almost a year later, Olivia finally made the leap and boarded a plane to the UK. But life abroad wasn't easy at first. Olivia deeply missed her boyfriend at the time, Ian Turpie, with whom she had co-starred in a light-hearted 1965 Australian TV film called Funny Things Happen Down Under. She was so homesick that she tried to book flights back home, only for her mother to secretly cancel them, hoping Olivia would give the UK a real chance. In 1966, Olivia took her first big step into professional music by recording her debut single, Till You Say You'll Be Mine, under Decca Records. The song didn't chart, but it was a significant milestone. She was now officially a recording artist. Things started to look up when her old friend Pat Carroll also moved to the UK. Reunited and excited, the two formed a singing duo named Pat and Olivia. They began performing together in nightclubs across Europe, bringing their close friendship and harmonies to live audiences. In one amusing incident, they accepted a gig at Paul Raymond's Revue in London, not realizing it was a strip club. Dressed in modest, frilly, high-collar dresses, they took to the stage, a comical mismatch for the setting, and the crowd's reaction made for a memorable night. During this period, the duo also lent their voices as backup singers for other artists. One notable contribution was on the track Come In, You'll Get Pneumonia by the Easy Beats, but their time together was cut short when Carol's visa expired, and she had to return to Australia. Olivia, however, stayed behind, determined to make her mark as a solo artist. Her next adventure came when she was selected by American music producer Don Kirshner to join a new group called Tomorrow. The band had a futuristic theme and was part of a bold experiment. They starred in a sci-fi musical film titled Tomorrow, accompanied by a soundtrack album of the same name. The group also released 2 singles, but neither made it to the charts. The project didn't take off as hoped, and the band eventually disbanded. But even though the Tomorrow chapter ended quietly, it was just the beginning of Olivia Newton-John's incredible journey in music and film, a path that would soon take her to global stardom. Did she just develop interest in music, or is it something she grew up with in her family? Let's delve into the details of Olivia's early life. The remarkable roots of Olivia Newton-John. Born on September 26, 1948, in the historic city of Cambridge, England, Olivia Newton-John entered the world with a legacy already woven deep into the fabric of science, history, and global culture. Her story did not begin with fame or music, but with a lineage as fascinating as any blockbuster film. One filled with brilliant minds, courageous choices, and surprising connections. Her father, Bryn Newton-John, was a proud Welshman born in 1914 to a middle-class family. Bryn's life was far from ordinary. He wasn't just an academic or educator. During World War II, he served as an officer with Britain's Secret Service, MI5. One of his most notable contributions was working on the top-secret Enigma project at Bletchley Park, the very operation that helped decode German military communications. Even more incredibly, he was part of the team that took high-ranking Nazi official Rudolf Hess into custody. After the war, Bryn transitioned into education and became headmaster of the Cambridgeshire High School for Boys, the same institution where Olivia would be born during his tenure. Her mother, Irene Helene Born, carried an equally compelling story. Born in Germany in 1914, Irene came from a family of Jewish intellectuals. In 1933, as the dark cloud of Nazism spread over Germany, her family fled to the United Kingdom for safety, a decision that would shape not only their future, but that of generations to come. Irene's father, Olivia's grandfather, was none other than Max Born, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist who made major contributions to quantum mechanics. His groundbreaking work laid the foundation for much of modern science. Olivia's maternal grandmother, Hedwig, also came from a prestigious background. She was the daughter of Victor Ehrenberg, a respected Jewish jurist, and Helene Agatha von Gering, who was of Lutheran faith. Through this lineage, Olivia could trace her ancestry back to the Protestant reformer Martin Luther, making her a descendant of one of Christianity's most pivotal figures. Even more astonishing, it's believed that she also had royal Spanish blood through another branch of her family tree. One of the most notable ancestors on her mother's side was Rudolf von Gering, a brilliant legal scholar and Olivia's great-great-grandfather. Her intellectual heritage didn't stop there. Her uncle Gustav Born was a respected pharmacologist, and through her Ehrenberg family line, she was distantly related as a third cousin to British comedian and author Ben Elton. Olivia was the youngest of 3 children born to Bryn and Irene. Her older brother Hugh followed a path of service through medicine and became a doctor. Her sister, Rona, ventured into the arts as an actress and was once married to restaurateur Brian Goldsmith. Later, Rona married Jeff Conaway, Olivia's co-star from the iconic film Grease. That marriage, though, ended in divorce in 1985. Olivia also had 2 half-siblings, a brother, Toby, and a sister, Sarah, born from her father's second marriage. In 1954, when Olivia was just 5 years old, the Newton-John family embarked on a life-changing journey. Leaving post-war England behind, they set sail for Australia aboard the passenger ship SS Stratheard. The family settled in Melbourne, Victoria, a city rich in culture and opportunity. Bryn Newton. John continued his academic career there, becoming a professor of German and later the Master of Ormond College at the University of Melbourne. Their family remained deeply involved in community life and regularly attended church services. Bryn also served as head of a Presbyterian college, reflecting the family's strong values and love for learning. Growing up in Melbourne, Olivia began her education at Christ Church Grammar School, a reputable school in South Yarra. She later attended University High School in Parkville, where she likely began to discover her own path, one that would lead her away from academics and into the spotlight of entertainment. From such distinguished beginnings, it's no surprise that Olivia Newton-John grew up to be more than just a singer or actress. She was the product of minds that changed the world, hearts that survived war and exile, and a spirit shaped by cultures, religions, and histories interwoven over centuries. Her roots were steeped in science, faith, and resilience, a legacy that would shine brightly through her voice, her activism, and her undeniable presence on the global stage. In her later years, Olivia Newton-John got ill and eventually gave up the ghost. Let's dive into the details of Olivia Newton-John's illness that led to her death. Olivia's brave final journey. In May 2017, fans around the world were heartbroken when beloved singer and actress Olivia Newton-John shared some painful news. Her breast cancer had come back and spread to her lower back. At first, doctors thought the severe pain she was feeling was caused by sciatica, a nerve condition that affects the lower back and legs. But as the pain grew worse and more persistent, further tests revealed something more serious: the return of breast cancer. What many people didn't know at the time was that this wasn't Olivia's second battle with the disease. It was actually her third. Her first diagnosis was back in 1992. She bravely fought it and appeared to overcome the illness, becoming a symbol of strength and resilience to millions of people. However, in 2013, the cancer came back, although she chose to keep that private. Then in 2017, when the cancer returned once again, it had spread to her bones, a condition known as metastatic breast cancer, and reached the most advanced stage, stage 4. This time, the illness brought with it immense physical pain, especially in her bones. Yet, Olivia faced it all with remarkable courage. She spoke openly about her struggles and shared that she used cannabis oil to manage her pain. Her support for the use of medical cannabis was not just personal. she became an advocate for it, using her voice to support others facing similar battles. Her daughter, Chloe, even runs a cannabis farm in Oregon, continuing her mother's legacy in a meaningful way. Olivia Newton-John's journey came to a peaceful end on August 8, 2022. She passed away at the age of 73 at her cherished home in the Santa Ynez Valley of California. The news of her death touched millions of hearts across the globe. Tributes poured in from fans, world leaders, and fellow stars. John Travolta, her close friend and Grease co-star, honored her memory, as did Barbara Streisand and Australia's Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. In her home country, iconic buildings in Melbourne and Sydney lit up in her memory, glowing brightly like the star she was. The following month, her family held a small, intimate memorial service in California, just as Olivia had wished. She had asked to be cremated, with her ashes scattered in some of the places she held dear: Byron Bay in Australia, her Santa Ynez Ranch, and other places that I love. As she beautifully put it, this quiet farewell reflected her grace, simplicity, and deep connection to the earth and people she loved. Despite the private nature of her family's farewell, the state of Victoria recognized Olivia's incredible contributions to music, health advocacy, and the community by offering a state funeral. Her niece, Tati Goldsmith, accepted on behalf of the family. And so, on February 26, 2023, Australia celebrated Olivia's remarkable life with a public memorial service at Hamer Hall in Melbourne. The event, hosted by TV presenter David Campbell, was a heartfelt tribute filled with emotion, music, and memories. Olivia's husband and daughter shared touching eulogies. Richard Wilkins, a well-known Australian media personality, spoke warmly about her generous spirit, endless optimism, and the strength she carried through life. Audiences watched video montages of Olivia's incredible journey, from her chart-topping music and film career to her family life and her passionate work in cancer wellness. To honor her music legacy, singer Delta Goodram performed a beautiful medley of Olivia Newton-John's greatest hits. The stage also came alive with love through pre-recorded tributes from some of the biggest names in the world: Sir Elton John, Mariah Carey, Barry Gibb, Dolly Parton, and Nicole Kidman, each sharing how Olivia had touched their lives. Though she is no longer with us, Olivia Newton-John's light continues to shine through her music, her legacy of compassion, and the countless lives she inspired. Her story is one of courage, grace, and unwavering hope, a reminder that even in life's hardest moments, love, strength, and kindness can leave a lasting mark on the world. What do you think about Olivia Newton-John's confirmation of what happened after Grease? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.